All right, look, this video is for the people who watch my channel, the nice girls, the nice guys, the people who are hopeless romantics, the people who prefer the fantasy over reality. Today, I'm gonna wake you guys up because y'all been asleep for all this time to wake you up to the realities of dating people. Unfortunately, hopeless romantic tend to be people who live in a fantasy world. Reality is harsh. So as a result, you rather teleport yourself to a fantasy world where you live expecting this reality of Disney, of rom-coms, but when it happens, it debilitates you. But whenever you feel pain, you could just go back to that fantasy and release the stress, to be irrational, to fantasize about something that you don't have. And this creates a disconnection from reality where you come across as super desperate and you begin to resent the people who play you. So today we're gonna be talking about truths that I think will wake you up. It'll be your red pill so that you guys can stop being so creepy and finally be able to tell people you watch my channel. All right. So if you guys want to learn how to apply these strategies, fuck what your grandma says and book a one-on-one phone call with me today. And I don't mind grannies, but they be giving some of the craziest advice. And there you could book a one-on-one phone call with me today. A grandma's advice is like advice from your best friend. Get a gay guy to give you advice. They know better. So you guys can get 20% off working with me one-on-one with the coupon code BLACK and 50% off the courses using the coupon code BLACK, and it ends on the 7th. So I don't know when that is, but I think it's tomorrow, okay? So the first thing about humans that I need you guys to understand, you hopeless romantics, is that people hide their shadow side, right? This is what tends to come out last. You'll see little slips of it in the beginning. You'll see little moments of shadow side. Maybe he or she is rude to the waitress. Maybe you notice that this person is never home, or they take a long time to respond, or they go through periods where they'll text you and then disappear. Usually, what you're seeing is a little inkling of their shadow, a little taste of it. And what tends to happen is that people who are hopeless romantic tend to ignore it. You ignore that because it's something that goes against what you believe. It's like when you watch the movie of Biggie, when his mom was kind of suspecting that he was using drugs, but she was kind of denying it until she found out. Well, what happens is that a lot of the times we see the shadow side, but because we're focused so much on the relationship, on, oh my God, I can finally fulfill my fantasy, your desires for a relationship tends to narrow the scope of your vision. The ability for you to read situations and predict the future becomes completely blunted because you are so hung up on having a relationship, you ignore their shadow side. Don't you ever ignore the first few signs of a person's shadow side, because that's the one thing you remember when you end up getting played. And then you're gonna go and tell people you watch my channel. Tell them you watch Granny's channel. Next one, people never do things just once. By the way, this is like a good middle ground between writing and still writing, you know. Anyway, so people never do things just once. If they hit you once, they'll hit you again. If they lie to you once, they'll lie to you again. Oh yeah, I only did that in the beginning. I was still not over my ex. Yeah, okay, they'll do it again. The thing about hopeless romantic, y'all are dumb. I'm sorry, y'all can easily be lied to, man. Oh my Lord. Like, this is one girl that, like, she was telling me how her boyfriend needed a ride to his ex's house so that he could have closure with her. And she waited outside because she wanted compassion. I'm like, bitch, you pay for my drinks. You are wild. You are out of your mind. Why would you even... Anyways, so a lot of the times you ignore repetitive behavior because a lot of the times that's exactly what you need to focus on to snap out of it. And the problem is that a lot of people love living in a fantasy world where it doesn't touch reality. And so they do suffer on the outside, but on the inside, they have momentary moments when they can fantasize and escape reality. And that's the thing. When somebody lies to you once, they'll lie to you again. If they hit you once, they'll hit you again. If they cheated on their ex, they'll cheat on you. You're not special. If you notice they take a long time to respond, trust me, no matter how many times they'll tell you they won't do it again, they're gonna do it again. Now, the next one is this one. Is that what you have to understand is that the source of romanticism is insecurity. Now, hopeless romantic people, their whole personality is about romanticism. Creepy type of shit. And so when two hopeless romantics get in a relationship, it tends to be a little bit problematic, especially when they're not in touch with reality. There's nothing wrong with being a hopeless romantic. Just be in touch with reality. You want to be able to, I always say this, high intention, but low attachment. This is the romanticism that I want you guys to have. What you guys have is high intention, but just a lot of attachment. You could develop this ability to detach by practicing meditation. Seriously. Go to this website. This is like a free meditation retreat for all you hopeless romantic. You guys need it. Just go to this website, dhamma.org. And the meditation retreats are free. And you may even find me there helping people. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, if you want somebody to be romantic, it's really about creating a sense of insecurity. If you notice that your partner is not being romantic, it's because you completely validated them. Now, they don't have to be insecure to be romantic, but that initially, the thing that makes them want to be romantic in the beginning is insecurity. Now, as you guys are in a long-term relationship, what allows them to be romantic is the desire to make you happy. Or better yet, it's to give you what you need. Sometimes when older couples are together, the reason why they're romantic is not because like they want to do it, it's because they know that it makes their partner happy. They know that if they give them that gift or put the food in this way and arrange it in a way that they like it, that those little things make them happy. And because they've communicated about how to work this relationship and they had constant communication, the romanticism happens because they're both trying to make each other happy. So the initial romanticism, it's very normal, but it doesn't stay because it's fueled by insecurity. The second phase of romanticism, first is insecurity, and the next one is empathy. And the empathy, the love that you have for them will make you want to be want to be romantic. And it's not because you feel insecure, you're going to lose them. No, you do it because it makes them happy. You don't do, initially the romanticism is to win you over. The next level of romanticism is to keep you happy. If they don't do that, that means they're not really paying attention to you. So the next thing is they don't want you back because of, wait a minute, people. Father Alex forgot what it was. Let me check it in right here, man, because I'm giving myself quizzes that is really difficult, okay? Oh, it's self-sabotage. People, a lot of the times, people will gravitate towards what's toxic because that's all they know. When things get good, a lot of the times they sabotage it. They literally either never delete their exes so that one day they come back. They never really let go of that drug habit they had, or they feel awkward once you guys start getting intimate. But the point is, this is their shadow side coming out. You gotta realize people are split, right? People are split with two sides, right? People are split with two sides. There is their shadow side, and then there is their long-term happy side. And unfortunately, when things get good, when things are getting really good, the shadow side comes out and brings it back to normal. It's almost like a thermometer. Once it reaches a certain temperature, it turns on and raises the temperature back to its normal temperature. When things get to a certain level of good, to a certain level of intimacy, the shadow side comes out to make sure it keeps things as where it was. And it literally creates a desire for you to leave the relationship. Once you're back to the same level of unhappiness, your shadow side leaves, and then all of a sudden you want them back. Once you have them back, your shadow side comes out, sabotages you, and you as the receiver don't understand this. And so it really does fuck with you. But most people won't tell you this because they don't even understand what's happening. They just know they want to come back, and then, you know what I mean? When people are like this, tell them to go fuck themselves, all right? Tell them that I told you that, because they're just wasting your time. The next thing is that most people you meet, I know this one, won't like you back. people. Most people won't like you back. Most people are not going to have chemistry with you. It's just how it is. And usually you see that because most relationships, after 2 or 3 months, they die. So you want to understand that. You want to accept that reality because hopeless romantic think y'all are fucking lovable. Y'all think it's your mommy looking at you with love. No, motherfucker. Most people don't know you. Most people won't care about you. And most relationships look like they're all going to start off well. And eventually, they all end up dying. It's just how it is. I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I'm just saying this so that you could understand that most things will end. Or they call it anicca in meditation. Anicca. Most things will pass. But when you're in your own fantasy, afraid of reality, which is what? The ultimate disintegration and separation, which is death itself, you guys cannot handle that. You know, you guys have a separation anxiety a lot of the times, right? And the next thing is that they won't make you happy. Ladies and gentlemen, most of the relationships that you have, a lot of the times, if you're a hopeless romantic, you're doing it because you think it's going to make you happy, when in reality it won't, right? So, people, remember, the next thing is that you got to stop being so forgiving with people. In fact, this is actually a good mole, people. Go check this one out. El Mezquite Mole. If you guys want to get it, you guys can get it in Bazar Sábado in Mexico City. Sábado Bazar on Saturdays. It's really good. So, next thing is stop being so forgiving. Now, the reason why is this is because most hopeless romantics, they believe in a vision. And that vision is us. So yes, of course I'll forgive you, baby. Because I know it was a mistake. You'll never do that again. When you have a strong desire for belief, you ignore the facts. They call that confirmation stupidity. When you're so freaking, when you want something so badly, you become stupid. And then you tell people you watch my channel. That's disrespectful. The next thing is learn when to walk away. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to know when to end things, when to pull the plug on granny, when to walk away from that situation. It's important to do that. Because hopeless romantics, their mistakes is that they think that people can change. They think that people over time learn their lesson. And that's the deviation from reality. It's not that you're positive, but that you don't consider the other alternatives. Most people are not good for you. And the problem is that you're addicted. This is the thing, right? Is that you're addicted to the high of validation. And usually a lot of the time is that most likely you're just unhappy. Unhappiness on the inside breeds intense fantasies that you hold on to. When you're not happy with what you see here, you naturally turn inward and start to fantasize as a way to release the tension, to let go of the tension that's building up inside of you. You know? So I remember, people, let's review this. Stop being so forgiving, because most people, there's a reason why you shouldn't forgive certain people. Like, y'all forgive people who do the worst shit to you. Learn when to walk away, right? Because a lot of times if you don't walk away, that's what's gonna turn you into the toxic one, right? Next thing is the source of romanticism is insecurity. And in order to get romanticism later on in the relationship, you guys have to communicate. Hey, this makes me happy. This makes me happy. It's nice if you could take me out from time to time. They do it to make you happy. And that's really a sign that they love you, when they're doing it to make you happy, not because they feel insecure. They don't want you back because of self-sabotage, not because they don't love you. They do love you, but sometimes they just can never be happy. Most people you meet won't like you back. After 2 or 3 months, they don't want a relationship. Get the fuck out, Anisha. They won't make you happy. And then the last few things here is that people hide their shadow side. You won't see their shadow. You see glimpses of it, but so little that you'll justify it away. You're good at that. And then people never do things just once. Now, a bonus one is that hopeless romantic, most of the romanticism happens because of a projection. What they truly are doing is truly just projecting their desires onto the other person, right? And so they project Whatever they think makes them happy. And so that person is right here, and then there's their projection, and then there's the interpretation. And usually romantic people are projecting their desires because of just how unhappy they feel on the inside. Remember when I said here, the more unhappy you are, the more you rely on your fantasies to keep you unhappy or to give you hope. And so then when you meet people, you sort of project whatever you think will make you happy, and you stop seeing the other person. And the other person feels like you're trying to pigeonhole them into a certain situation, a situation that fits your needs and that has nothing to do with them. And they'll deal with you until they grow tired of it. You gotta understand, when you're somebody who projects a lot, usually you're gonna become very disappointed, because the strategies you use to seduce this person, you're not really looking at this person. You're trying to seduce a fantasy. And usually you do this as a way to self-sabotage. It's all about getting in touch with reality, observing your patterns, because what breaks the projection is awareness of the pattern. Once you become aware of the pattern, it literally loses projection power, meaning your unawareness gives the projection more light and more projection power. It superimposes upon reality. But once you start to see the mechanisms, the wirings of how these projections work, then you're able to actually say no to the projections, right? But when you're just in the moment, and you're not aware of what's happening, well, then what happens is that you just become a slave to your own desires, right? You got to learn to see the gears, see what's causing these patterns. And literally, by just becoming aware of it, it loses power. The more aware you are of the projections and how it deviates from reality, meaning the belief systems that you have about people that really don't conform with reality, the quicker and the quicker you are to get out of that type of mindset, all right? Never forget that about human nature. That is a true fact. And if you guys want to learn more about this, don't forget to check out the courses. The Feminine Woman, it's my latest course. It's a self-help course to help you build your self-esteem. Or purchase all of my courses in one go by going under the description down below where it says Work with Father Alex, and you could purchase the bundle and buy all of them in one go, right? And yeah, 50% off with the coupon code BLACK, and it finishes, I think it's tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.